so numb.
And now, from the Cave of Wonders and recorded live in the presence of gods, welcome to the Rain Man Show.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome to the Rain Man Show. On Tuesday, we are back for another episode of the Rain Man Show live. Hello, Thomas.
Hello, Mike.
All right, so I'm wondering if we should just stop doing radio and just do gay parody porn. What do you think?
Oh, man. You know, I think we'd have some good ideas.
Do you think there's a market for it?
Oh, there's absolutely a market for it. Are you kidding me?
You think?
Between all the pop culture that's out that people want and all the slash fiction, there's easily an option to do some parody stuff. We could do audiobook editions of the slash fiction. Or we just do our own original ideas, just our own original stories, stealing the concepts.
Yeah, I like that idea too.
I mean, the last one where he did right there worked pretty well, and that was all off the cuff.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Exactly. See, now you're thinking.
Sex is an easy industry. Forget
it is.
We've been doing it all wrong.
We've been working too hard.
We've been working way too
hard.
And not opening up our legs wide enough.
Exactly.
That's where we have been messing up this whole time.
Dude, I'm saying.
Gay parody porn. And it's kind of like the Hollywood show, their bullshit. Like rather than doing like
original stuff.
Yeah, we'll actually do the exact same thing as Hollywood show, but we'll do the homosexual version.
Exactly.
Not version.
Or both.
Why not? Thank you for saving that. Why not? The Hollywood show. What's a good name for the show? I mean, we need to do it. I'm not just throwing it out there for me not to do, because we know Randy is going to like write it down.
Right.
And say, well, here's the 75th thing they have said they're going to do this year and have not done.
It could be hard at work because you're going to listen to it at work.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Homosexual podcast.
There you go.
For your ear holes.
For all your holes.
I like that one.
There we go.
Hey, Andrew, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
Good. Tony, how are you?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
Good. You guys are okay with all the cameras on you? There's about 7 cameras.
This is the start of the porn parody. All the cameras.
Yeah,
it's finally happening.
It seems like this entire room is covered with cameras now.
I've waited for so long.
Else.
I've waited for so long for this.
I like how Andrew's all like, it's finally going to happen. And he doesn't have a camera on him.
No,
like he has one.
Directly.
He has one camera on him, but he doesn't have a webcam on him.
Right.
For the
Which
live,
is what he's used to.
For the live feed, right.
I'm serious. I'm curious at how
this is why I don't turn Tony's mic on yet. Because he steamrolls.
Yeah.
He takes his fist and like figuratively
and just
shoves it into my vocal asshole.
Like this?
So I can't talk.
Like this?
Your vocal asshole.
Like this?
Jesus.
Yes.
Like maybe cameras are a bad idea. He's trying to perform for the camera now.
This is how I do it, everybody.
He's all, hey, David, is my camera on me right now? Hey, can you switch camera B on to me? I'm about to do something funny. Everybody else, turn their camera off, put it on me because I'm about to do something funny. Hey, Mike, are you in the middle of talking about something? Oh, my bad. I'm directing my shots over here.
Look, I could put myself on camera
for
too.
God's sake.
What is wrong
like
with
this
you?
and that.
And we've already lost him down the rabbit hole.
It's called pushing everyone over the edge.
Yeah. Well, we do have, Thomas, despite the antics today, we do have some good news.
Yeah.
Despite,
a lot of good news.
Despite the world burning down around us, we have a lot to be thankful for.
Yes, we do.
Number one is this. Number one. Numbers just came in. Raw numbers. Raw, not raw. I'm sorry. No, not raw. That would be the raw, inaccurate numbers.
With a condom?
Clean numbers.
Clean numbers.
Yeah, that's not as fun. But clean numbers say that we are 600% of our number from last year. 600% of our number from last year.
That's dude. A lot more than 117%.
Yeah, thank you. Jesus Christ.
Dustin's going to change that.
I'm done.
He does have to change it.
I had like an entire bit planned, and he just
derail.
I was gonna do 600%. He's all 100. I'm gonna say it first. Wow, that's not celebration songs at all. What is going on here?
In memorandum, apparently.
Wow. He just completely Andrew
The
just
show
does,
died. The show got killed.
Well, because Tony and Andrew were off the air for a moment.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Let me celebrate. I need to be alone when I celebrate. It's usually when I do my best work is when I'm alone.
Right.
By myself.
That no one sees.
So I'm going to also celebrate by myself for a second. Can we please get a moment of silence for my celebration? Yeah, I'm not going to let it die.
Is it a full minute?
Yep. That's so uncomfortable when you do moment of silences. It's so uncomfortable. They used to do it in high school when one of the students would die or something bad would happen. They also do it, of course, during wartime when there's mass shootings. It is one of the most uncomfortable things to do because I keep wanting to talk. I'm like,
or like you have to sneeze.
I feel like something should be said because, especially because we do entertainment, we do radio. I feel like dead air is death.
Right.
So I immediately just slip into character and start talking. That's what I want to do.
So
that's
in the
how I
moment
feel
of silence, trying to be respectful, you'll slip into the queen.
I start talking about
yelling.
dicks. Start talking about dicks and being the queen. You don't feel uncomfortable during moments of silence?
I do because I feel like I'm going to be the one that like sneezes or coughs, and then everyone's going to look at me and ruin it.
I'm going to let the audience understand my pain. Okay. See, that's uncomfortable.
I'm surprised you even allowed that to happen.
I know. It kind of aggravated me a bit, but you know what? It works.
Yeah.
So 600% for this show.
That's
600
fantastic.
and 251% for the entire network across the board.
Damn.
That's some good shit.
That's good, dude.
And if Dustin Lucas wasn't missing in action, from time to time, he disappears off the face of the planet. And if he was available, then we would have a 600% drop right now to talk over Andrew.
I feel like sometimes like Dustin is what it would be like to be
A spy?
friends with a superhero
He's
or
a spy. He's a spy.
They just like, where have you been for the last 3 months? He's like, oh,
Yeah.
it was weird. So anyway, what's up? You're like, there's got to be more to that.
Working with Dustin, I now know what all the significant others of superheroes feel like.
Yeah.
Like, where you go at all hours of the night? Where are you?
I needed you here. You were gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dustin's like the Dark Knight. He's the producer I need that I don't get.
Not that you deserve.
Not the one I deserve. We also got a new sponsor on the network as well. USAopoly is a new sponsor on our network. I want to welcome them officially to the Rain Man Network. Rain Man Digital. I don't even know the name of my own company.
Right.
Rain Man Digital. They, the deciding factor, the balance of scales, if you will, like, do we sponsor this company or do we sponsor this company? And guess why? The reason they chose us, Thomas. Obviously, we're going to start the first 5 minutes blowing the show.
Right.
And me. Let's give
I'm gonna say you.
once again. Let's allow for a moment of silence. Once again.
Suck our dicks! Yeah! Suck our dicks!
That wasn't a true moment of silence.
No.
That wasn't a true moment of silence. So they decided to go with us because we are one of the best sounding networks
Look at that.
out there. Their words.
Yeah.
Their words.
The thing that you've been trumpeting for how many years now?
This goes to show all you I'm gonna
you shoot.
I'm gonna start firing shots now.
Yeah, to say, Jesus.
I don't care. Take people out. This is why you hone your audio quality, because it could be the difference.
I mean, it was right here.
Yeah. So quality matters. So if you're doing your go-to podcast about Game of Thrones that Thomas likes to listen to for some reason because he's a cheater.
Oh.
USAopoly is not going to sponsor your show if it sounds like you're talking in the bottom of a shit can. All right? So, Thomas, it doesn't matter what Khaleesi does, if she's nude or not, and I'm going to be breaking it down. Because if you notice, around running time 37:50, the Khaleesi walks indicates that the White Walkers...
I just spilled wine all over me.
indicates that the White Walkers are nearby. Has
No.
it entertained you?
No, I am not entertained.
Are you not entertained?
No.
Yeah, don't talk in the bottom of a shit can, please.
All right.
Gotta communicate properly.
Don't tell them how to do it.
Through technology.
We
No,
want the sponsor.
I'm a helper. I'm the Messiah.
Oh, okay.
I will help and teach and guide people to the
to
promised
the
land.
promised land.
Yeah. I'm
Jesus.
fair. Now let me get off my soapbox and come back down and do the show.
There we go.
So I was watching some news as well during break. A lot of times I'm just using it for background noise because I listen to so much radio and podcasts and everything to kind of keep up to date on things. And I was kind of burnt out, so I decided to listen to the news. Usually I don't listen to news for background noise. And for this instance, I'm glad that I did.
Why?
Well, because it gave me content. It gave me a reason to get angry. And that's another reason why I don't watch news. I have to turn the TV off. I have to warn David when he walks into the studio not to mention certain things because it sets me off and it puts me into a foul mood to where it then seeps over into the show that I am doing at that moment.
Yeah.
So the news irked me a bit, but at the same time, it's been 2 or 3 days, so I got over it. I'm starting to feel my blood boil a bit.
Yeah.
It's just news and the things they do. There is literally no method behind the madness when you're a news anchor. For example, I'm listening/watching the news, and whatever anchor pops up, and the way he segues or teases for the next news bit that's just around the corner. Don't change the channel even though we're going to break, because coming up, we got some news for you. Well, this guy, what he does, yeah, see how you made that face? Of
Like,
course,
did they
of
just
course
say
you
that?
have news for us because we're listening to
Yeah.
the news. Well,
What else am I watching?
I have to believe they don't actually have content and they don't actually have news sometimes. I feel like they
There's
make
just
it.
one asshole on Twitter like, all right, here's something you can talk about.
Yeah, I feel like they make it up and then they try to find it while you go to break. Because this guy fumbled with the entire news tease before they went to break. And he says, all right, coming up, a police officer shot. We don't know when and we don't know where. We don't know if it was a him or a her, but our thoughts are with that police officer who died, we believe, in Texas. More coming up after this break. You literally told us nothing.
You just assumed
You have no
someone
idea.
somewhere got shot.
The only thing they might have right is that it's a police officer.
They might be right about whether it's a man or a woman.
They don't know if they're killed, don't know if they were really shot, what type of injury it actually is. He talked himself into a circle until they broke to break. And then
That's
when they
pathetic.
came back, they didn't even talk about it. So it leads me to believe, because news anchors, this isn't just a one-time event. News anchors do this all the time. They make up a story, and when you really listen to what's being said,
Nothing.
they are not saying, they're actually not reporting anything. Dangerous weather strikes the east. Whether or not it's a blizzard or rainstorm or tornado, we don't know yet.
I always like how they repeat themselves.
What part of the east, we don't know. It could be also the eastern part of the south portion of Arizona. We don't know.
I like how they repeat themselves. It's like dangerous weather hits the East Coast, more at 10. And then they'll get into on the East Coast, there was some dangerous weather. The weather that was dangerous was on the East Coast, somewhere
Yeah.
between the North and South area where the dangerous weather was dangerous.
Yeah, they don't know what they're saying.
Like they just fucking repeat themselves in the whole concept, or you read an article and the first paragraph is all the fucking first sentence.
I wouldn't doubt it if they actually make it up, much like Brian Williams did. And then they scoured the internet for anything that could kind of
Relevant.
match what they just
I
said.
promise there is a Twitter analyst on any of these major news networks who's just scrolling, just searching hashtags and like, hey, this might be something.
That's probably why we got the pre-break tease that was completely horseshit, because he probably is looking through the Twitter feed saying, oh, this just happened over in southern Texas. There's no information yet, but reported shots. So
Yeah.
then they just go with it. Like, all right, here we go.
Then you're just the asshole who's yelling out the window as to what he's seeing on the street.
Yeah. Throw me something, Thomas. Come on. Throw me something. Let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I'm as good as them.
You want a news topic?
Yeah.
All right, Mike. It looks like some lady's cat got stuck in a tree, but apparently it may be a dog. We don't actually know.
All right. Apparently, there's a zebra in the tree. We're not quite sure which tree, what type of tree, and what city is in, but more is coming up after this break. Did the cameras break yet?
No, keep talking.
Apparently, it's a zebra with stripes. More coming up after the break.
This just in, Mike. It might in fact be a leopard.
This just in, according to my my guy out in the field, secretly he's just scouring Twitter. Leopard has escaped. We thought it was a zebra at first. He's up in a tree. More to come at 10.
Oh, this just in fact, it's somebody wearing leopard pajamas, and they're in a nursing home because they're dying.
This just in. A man dressed as a zebra that actually is a leopard is actually a human being. More at 10. Back to you.
I think we could be news. I think we could be an official source with that.
I need some more.
Subway has delicious Reuben sandwiches. Are they a limited time offer? More at 11.
This just in, and nuclear submarine has just
hit Reuben.
Is this a clear sign that the Russians are in fact a threat? More to come. Shit, you said a sub sandwich.
Sub sandwich,
Oh, a
goddammit.
sub sandwich.
Fuck.
Shit.
Get back out there. Now, goddammit.
Right. This just in, I need to retract my last statement. A submarine did not come off the coast. Apparently, the Russian nuclear captain is actually eating a Subway sandwich. More at 10. Is there any more updates?
His name is Reuben. He found it quite delicious, and it turns out it was a Blimpies.
This just in, Reuben wishes it to defect because he loves Subway sandwiches so much. More at 10.
No, you got all of that wrong. Shit. Hold on. This is a brand new hashtag. Pull into Porta Subs now and get a free Reuben sandwich. I don't even know what happened to Blimpie.
Coming up, actually, no, not coming up. Right now, this just in, Poland has invaded Subway sandwich stores.
In order to find the last Quiznos.
In order to protect the Russian captain who just defected to the U.S. More at 10. That's the news.
Yeah.
Why do we even have it anymore?
Because if you're always afraid, you're always watching.
We should not even have news because they don't tell you anything.
No, they really don't. They're
that
worthless.
you can't find out by scrolling through Twitter because they don't have
anything besides
they don't have reporters on the streets anymore. You have reporters sitting at Subway eating lunch,
talking about their
scrolling
lunch
through Twitter looking for something close by. Especially with geo-tracking now, they can find relevant news and accidents that happen in their area. They probably sit down at Subway having a cup of coffee with their phone waiting for Google alerts to send them their next news story.
Pretty much. I mean, wouldn't you if it was that easy?
Yes.
We just did.
Coming up, a news anchor doesn't know what he's doing, and he's eating a Subway sandwich.
He might be named Reuben.
And he's apparently a roommate of the pedophile of the Subway sandwich spokesman. What's his name? Jared. I'm fumbling now.
Just like that guy.
Yeah.
So we're 100% authentic.
Pretty much. You know what? I'm going to go back and listen to this when I put it out. And I'll be like, you know what?
That's pretty close.
Sounds just like the dude from...
Compare it to the actual news then.
Yeah.
And see which is better.
We can make it up all day long.
Dude.
Tony, throw me a topic. Come on.
Oh, God. This could be bad.
Apparently, a Mandingo wrestler by the name of has just invaded Arizona.
Filipino mail order brides.
See, that's more like what they're probably
The
dealing with.
U.S. has been invaded by Filipino mail order brides thanks to Trump's recent tweets. More at 10.
illegals climbing over the wall.
Oh, jeez.
Come on. I'm throwing it to you.
Taco Bell now delivers.
While you're at the wall being glory hole. More at 10. Wait, that's not what you said?
No, none of that was right. What is he reading right now?
Proper fisting etiquette.
Yeah, that's
just Tony's porn search history.
Probably that's what he did. I need content. Let me open up my history browser here.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So, Thomas, there is a new internet trend.
Okay.
Women cleaning their vaginas with cucumbers.
Wait, seriously?
I'm not even quite sure how something like that happens.
Like, is it peeled?
Are we talking organic?
Oh, jeez.
Well, if you don't want to get cancer.
Do they wash it of pesticides first?
Well, if you don't want to get cancer, Thomas, or Tony, then yes. According to Tony, cucumbers being stuck in your vag causes cancer. More at 10.
Unless they're organic. And some cucumbers are bumpy.
Oh, Jesus, God.
Are we talking
more at 10?
Are we talking actual cucumbers or sea cucumbers?
Wow. What are you looking at?
I got some notes from Bobby about the live stream.
Okay, what's wrong with it?
He says it's cutting in and out.
It's dropping. We're recording. It's probably because we're pushing so much bandwidth from the cameras. Maybe we should cut the live feed. Just cut the live feed.
Cut it?
Yeah. Just end it. And then, hold on, Thomas, talk for a second.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Now, the cucumbers bit does sound like something that I would expect from Tony. Like, scientist Tony would be who I expect me to tell.
Exactly.
Yes, in fact, use a cucumber to clean out your snatch.
Okay.
Like,
well, first of all, Thomas,
oh, God,
everyone knows cucumbers are organic. Or the proper,
All the time?
or, you know, like,
all vegetables have to be. Like,
Are they
they
always
have to
organic?
be properly organic.
Okay.
And,
Wait,
you know,
hold on.
That's a whole other
They
conversation.
need to be properly organic.
Yes.
I was saying that scientist
Come along
Tony
with
is the
me.
kind of person who would say
Come along with me, and I will explain. Because Thomas started this, so let me finish.
I said that scientist Tony is the kind of person who would say, clean your vag with a cucumber.
Yes.
And now he's going off on his theory,
But you
which
can't-
apparently is his most recent doctorate.
But
I
you
didn't even know.
can't use just any cucumber.
See?
You have to use Oriental organic cucumbers because of the amount of bumps that each cucumbers
Jesus
have.
God.
All right, that's enough. Jesus Christ. More at 10.
Jesus Christ is on his way.
Okay.
More at 10.
The cucumber is a versatile vegetable, according to this article. It can be used in any number of sandwiches
I don't
and
think
salads.
that's right.
Okay, but now it appears it has become a little too versatile with a new baffling and concerning trend of the cucumber cleansing taking off. Brace yourselves, it's much weirder than it sounds. Proponents of the cucumber cleanse suggest that you peel a cucumber and insert it into the vagina and twist around.
Exactly.
In and out movements to cleanse the yoni.
Yoni.
The yoni? What is a yoni?
It's the Kama Sutra version of saying vagina.
Look at this guy. Can we get a moment of silence? How do you know what a yoni is?
Because I've read certain books.
Okay, why do you read those books?
Because he wants to be a scientist like me.
You know what?
It was
Anything.
required reading for my doctorate.
See, you're reading Karma Sutra to learn how to do
to
be
better.
To be better. You know what I read growing up? I read Maxim and the top 10 do's. That's how I learned. Maxim magazine and the top 10 do's that all women want.
Yeah, you sure about that one?
Yeah, apparently.
That worked out.
I roped in Maggie somehow.
We all know you paid for her.
Come on, simmer down. What are you trying to say? All right, so they suggest that you clean and insert into your yoni. They suggest it resets your pH balance, which is nonsense, according to them, and leaves you smelling fresh, which is also nonsense, according to them. And it appears to be a thing that actual people are doing. Here's one expert in the practice explains the benefits. So how do you cleanse your vajayjay? This is my cucumber. It's a picture. He's showing a woman is showing a whittled down cucumber that looks a lot like the demon blade or the first blade. I carved for what I am about to share. Okay. If you didn't know, a natural cleaner and one of the tools you can use for restoring pH to your yoni is peeled organic cucumber. Okay, so yoni, is it an actual thing or is it like a spiritual term from the Karma Sutra book?
It's it's defined. It is vagina. That is what it is. But it's another way of saying it.
It is vagina.
From the Kama Sutra.
That sounds made up, Thomas. I don't believe you.
I'll find.
The yoni is defined as the vulva, especially as...
just in, the yoni is actually your asshole. More at 10.
Especially as a symbol of divine procreative energy conventionally represented by a circular stone.
Incorrect according to science.
And has Hinduism backgrounds.
Yeah, it's just another way of saying
it's not real. Only Christianity is real.
Oh.
I see.
Supernatural taught me that.
Yeah. All right, so this unfortunately isn't a joke post. Some of the followers are very devoted. I've slept with mine inside of me, smelled like a day spa when I woke up. One commented, I do it once a month, a few days after my cycle. I wasn't sure how often I should do it, but feels so refreshing.
I hope they didn't have salad in the morning.
They were just making homemade pickles.
All right, hold on. Okay. If someone told me I found out a new way to make sure your butt smells great all the time, all you have to do is stick this little jalapeno pepper in your asshole. And you wake up smelling fresh. Guess what I won't do?
Burns out all the bacteria.
I will never stick a jalapeno pepper in my asshole because somebody on Tumblr told me to do so. All they're doing is getting a laugh right now and probably yanking one out. That's what they're doing. Hey, Bob, we started a trend. All these nasties are actually using the cucumber we made a joke about.
Let's tell them to eat it next.
Yeah. After it restores the pH balance in your yoni,
the bacteria can help your stomach.
And you become more intelligent.
I wouldn't be surprised if someone tried that.
This is what's wrong with the internet.
Yeah.
This is why and this is why we need a nuclear bomb just to clear everybody out.
Jeez, okay. Well, that escalated quickly.
I mean, this is just stupidity. Who believes that a cucumber can clean out your
a lot of
puss?
These people, apparently.
Are you willing to try it?
I don't have one, so.
Well, not. Why don't you have Randy do it?
Oh, I'm not. She's not that stupid. She's a biologist.
Well, then she should like
eco-friendly version.
Yeah. Let her make that decision, Thomas.
Okay. I will run it past her.
You and your fucking yoni.
Learn the power poop.
Hey, the Rain Man Show will be right back.
Michael suck.
All right. So with the amount of sexual assault charges that are happening around the world,
yeah,
I'm thinking we should probably start a new game.
Yeah.
And not to make light of sexual assault, but to bring levity.
Right.
You know, soften the blow, if you will.
If you're not laughing, you're crying.
Right. So, I'm thinking we up the ante on our fantasy football game.
Oh, God. Are we doing the over-under on certain celebrities?
I think we need to bring Bobby back into the show next week.
Okay.
And he'll come in with a new bracket if he's able to. And we will form a fantasy football loser squad.
Okay.
And we're going to pick who's going to be next. Because I already have my list of names that are going to be next.
Celebrities?
It has to be celebrities. Otherwise, it won't be any fun, Thomas. Come on.
Just making sure.
We can't pick like Johnny from around the block. Come on, work with me here.
I didn't know if we were going into athletes as well, or like the Vatican again, or
no.
Are we just doing Hollywood?
It's Hollywood edition.
Hollywood edition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fantasy
Hollywood horn dogs.
Fantasy Sexual Assault League Loser Squad.
Jesus.
We're bringing happiness. Reality. Let's not derail the show again. We're bringing. Jesus Christ.
Let's try and laugh at this. And Tony's like, life is dark and cruel.
It happens. It's real.
Good God.
So I figured that's a good game we can play.
I think it'll be an easy game to play.
Also, I want to be able to say I knew it. I knew it the whole time.
I told you so.
Yeah. I mean, much of Hollywood already knew. I mean, talk about a game where
it's betting on a game that's over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
It's a fiasco right now.
Dude, people's careers going up in flames overnight.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I mean, unfortunately, there's always a downside to these types of things. Yes, there's a house cleaning that needs to be done. Obviously, it's a mess. However, Hollywood was built on the backs of this type of life.
Since the 30s.
It's always been like that. So how do you balance that? How do you tell someone who was around in the 60s and 70s, hey, guess what? Now that it's 2017, we're going to get you. I'm not talking about Kevin Spacey. That's always been bad. It doesn't matter what decade. But like the Dustin Hoffman scenario and various other directors, not Bryan Singer, the guy I hate, Brett Ratner, yeah. I mean, how do you suddenly pretend that the casting couch is a sin when everybody's made jokes about it and many were willingly sitting in the casting couch?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of things need to happen. The
waters are murky.
It's very murky. There's a lot of mixed messages, and I think things need to be figured out and say, look, this is the new Hollywood. This is what we do. Guess what, everybody? Keep your dicks in your pants. This is work. This isn't a fair. Yeah. This isn't the circus. You're not here to have a good time. You're here to do your job. You can't pull out your dick in the cubicle if you're working a 9 to 5. And just because you're Harvey Weinstein or some Hollywood exec doesn't mean you're any different. You're essentially an upscale version of a 9 to 5 cubicle worker.
Yeah.
And if people start thinking that way, things will change. But right now, you're asking people to change that. Where
have lived that life forever.
And it's been acceptable.
Yeah.
That's the key word that nobody's tackling because they're afraid to be blasted on social media. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Blast me. There's a way of thought that has been acceptable. Not talking about Weinstein and Spacey. Those are extreme cases. But the Dustin Hoffman, the Brett Ratners, the people that are going to be brought up next soon. Yeah. Okay, I don't want to say my names. I'm going to save them for my sexual assault fantasy football league.
Right.
I don't want to say their names. But there's also a lot of people who are just douchebags. Like Dustin Hoffman is guilty of being a fucking douche.
Yeah. Chevy Chase is known as being just an asshole.
Right. So
guarantee he's done something.
Right. And that is kind of where we got to figure out, okay, what is sexual assault? And what is a guy being a douchebag in a trailer back in the 60s and 70s where people were doing lines of coke, 60s, 70s, and 80s, where it was a fucking free-for-all and it was allowed, where you would actually budget as a line producer. Line producers, Thomas, if you don't know, are the ones who do the entire budget and scheduling. My college professor told me, if you were in the 80s, Mike, because I studied to be a line producer, he said, in the 80s, you know what you would add right here in this little graph here? And I'm like, what?
You know.
Party favors. I'm like, what do you mean? He's all, you got to put at least 25% of your budget here. And I'm like, and what is it? He's all, cocaine. And I'm like, really? And he's all, yep.
Makes sense.
Cocaine and women.
That's the real reason it was line producers.
But there's a way of thought that needs to change. And that's where we need to make sure we can find that middle ground and say, okay, Kevin Spacey, Weinstein, Bill Cosby, you're on this side.
Right.
You're shitheels. Dustin Hoffman and other individuals, you're douchebags, and you need to practice better business etiquette. This isn't the 80s. This is 2017.
But then there's also, I've seen people get mad at Adam Sandler for he knee patted somebody who he was friends with, and she had to come out and be like, guys, that was nothing. He's a friend.
And that's another thing that we need to be careful because
that is a whole other issue.
And I don't think anybody can disagree that we have zero balance in this country.
It's fuck.
There's never balance. There's never, hey, don't do that. It's extremes.
Yep.
And now what we're going to be witnessing, and I'm calling it now because we're already seeing it, and it's only going to get worse. We're going to see witch hunts. You're going to see guys being accused of everything. Like, hey, he touched me on the hips and I didn't like it. I'm like, well, he was being friendly. He also touched that dude right there because he was trying to get his attention.
Right.
Like, there's things that have to be defined, unfortunately. And if it was me, you know what I would do? I wouldn't touch or look at anybody. However, do we really want to live like that in a world?
Isolated.
And if we start creating these scare tactics where if you do anything, you're going to be accused of sexual assault.
Anything wrong in your entire life, it's documented.
All we're going to do is push and create that social barrier, and it's going to become even wider.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful. We can't go on witch hunts. We have to clean out all the bad shit birds, get rid of them. And also we need to find some perspective and say, hey, you know what, Adam Sandler, you touched your co-star's knee because you're being friendly on live television. That's what you do. And you probably would have touched your buddy on his shoulder and his leg as well while you're telling a joke. It is what it is. You can't ask people not to be human beings as well.
Yeah.
So on that note,
let's start a new fantasy football game.
Yeah. Let's take the moral decay and the moral breakdown of Hollywood's foundation and bring some much needed levity. So I'm thinking next week we'll do it. Whether Bobby can come in or not, we'll definitely have our picks. So Andrew, do you have any people at the top of your head right now that you would possibly put on that list?
Honestly, I don't. The only thing I think of is like if Tom Hanks came out with something.
Tony, do you have any people?
Jeez, no, that's a really good question.
We're here talking about this, Thomas, for like 10 minutes. And you would think Andrew would have people.
I said
ready.
Tom Hanks.
You think Tom Hanks, of all people.
Yeah. I got one that I'm pretty sure of.
The movie Big was just one big allegory for rapage.
And big dicks.
He wanted to have a big dick so he could rape better.
Oh, God.
That's Thomas, I know you have two.
One, I think
Don't
just
say
because
their names.
I have at least at this moment.
Guilty by association, people.
Due to just the movies that they're involved with.
Yeah.
And the people that they're involved with. I'm like, you had to do something.
Yeah.
You're not clean in this industry. There's no fucking
unclean
way. Shame. There's no way.
What about you, Tony? You have anybody?
You know what? I hate to say it, but
don't say who. Don't say who.
Okay, I have a name.
I knew you were going to say who.
I have a name. Okay, I'll save it.
We'll find out next week.
We'll find out next week. But I'm almost like, part of me is like going, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised, but I would be so fucking disappointed.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of that too.
Yeah, I was disappointed when I heard about Kevin Spacey.
Yeah,
I was like,
absolutely,
damn it. And I know there's been rumors about him partying with young men.
Yeah,
I never heard of children. I've heard of young men, which is also not justifying for Kevin Spacey, but there's some, and our LGBTQ, wait, did I say that right? LGBTQ listeners can smack me around. I will allow them to if I'm incorrect, but I've been down to West Hollywood, and this doesn't make it right. I've spent days out in West Hollywood, okay? 6-7 years ago when I was going to all the red carpet events for film festivals, and when you go into West Hollywood, it is not uncommon to see an older dude with money with an extremely young person.
Yeah.
In some circles, in the party circle, it's very acceptable if a young man is willing to bang an old dude. In fact, I'm sure Andrew has the name. What is it? A twink and a bear? Or is that just old, big, hairy, fat dude?
It'd probably just be a sugar daddy situation.
Okay, the sugar daddy scenario. They don't have an actual name.
I will look that up.
You don't know?
I
don't know that off the top of my head.
Where are you at right now, Andrew? You're like dazed, huh?
I'm a little, I'm a little dazed.
Every time I look at him, he's zoned out.
Right. Yeah. It'd probably be, like he said, sugar daddy and a twink situation.
You know what?
I'm
done.
Okay.
I'm done with this topic. I'm over it.
Repressed memories.
All right. So today is Thomas's birthday as well.
Oh, God. Yep.
So go and get those cupcakes I bought him. David, please. Andrew, go and get that paddle from last year. Let's do it.
Are we really doing this again?
No, we're not doing it. Holy fuck. Get the goddamn paddle, Andrew.
All right.
You actually bought cupcakes.
Yeah, and I want you to get this because we're going to have, because it's, how old are you, Thomas? 30?
27.
Oh, 27.
I just look terrible.
All right, so you're 27 years old.
Yep.
Stand up for us.
God damn it.
Get the camera on him, please. All right, first things first, Andrew. I want you to grab a cupcake. Get a cupcake. All right, let's get this music. I'm feeling sexy right now. I know Thomas is.
Do you want Buzz Lightyear, Rex, or...
Hold on, what choices do we have?
We got Buzz Lightyear. We got Woody.
Woody.
All
There's one Woody, too.
There's only one Woody.
So we got a cupcake for Thomas. Andrew has the Woody cupcake in his hands right now.
And he's about to molest Thomas.
And he's going to go ahead, feed him the cupcake. Look at Andrew, so excited. Go ahead. I don't want you to swish your hips as you do it. Come on. Hey, twist, twirl. First, Andrew, twirl. No, twirl. There you go. Andrew's twirling in the studio.
Like a real fairy.
And now he's going to feed Thomas. Go ahead. Give him that bite. Give him that cupcake. Go ahead. Take that bite.
Sexy.
Oh, come on.
That's not sexy.
Oh, there he goes. He just took an entire bite into his mouth.
Jesus.
And then, Tony, now we know how Andrew likes to play. He literally shoved the entire cupcake into Thomas's mouth.
Is that sexy?
Is it a good cupcake, at least, Thomas?
It is good.
Okay, now stand back up. Now, after you ate your cupcake, Andrew shoved a cupcake into your mouth, and now he has a paddle. Now bend down. Bend down. Come on. Grab your ankles, please, Thomas. I'm directing. This is our Hollywood audition for our porn parody versions. Grab your ankles. And 1. Do it. 2.
Oh, Jesus
my God.
Christ.
Did people hear that?
Jesus Christ.
All right, do it again. That's 2. Come on. This is like Singapore. He stole something from you, Andrew. 4. Don't laugh with the camera.
This is your only chance, Andrew.
5. Come on.
Fulfill your fantasy.
6. 7. If you look close, you might be able to see his balls jiggle, Andrew. 6. Come on. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11.
It's like
12.
It's like one of those cuckoo
13.
clocks.
14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. 21. 22. 23. Get Thomas's reaction. 24. Get in that face. 28. Well, one more. He's not 29, but it's all right. All right.
And so this is a Kevin Spacey audition that we're reenacting?
Yeah. I did not ask Thomas's permission either, did I?
No, you didn't. No.
That's how
I am sitting on a couch.
Yeah, that's how I run this ship.
So this is the making of an actual Hollywood audition then.
Yeah, someday.
Now I know what it's like to be in the business.
We're going to get like another sponsor, like a big one is going to come in, and then like all of a sudden all of the assault cases are going to come forward.
Notice I didn't have any gag reflex with that cupcake forced down my throat.
Oh my God.
I like how Thomas wants to emphasize that. Thomas, unfortunately, I don't think you're ever going to be able to come out of the closet on the show.
You don't think so?
I don't think people care for some reason. I don't think people want a bisexual Thomas.
Maybe not.
They don't want their fantasies being broken. I think some of these women out there, and possibly even men, because we know gay men sometimes like straight men.
This is true.
So maybe
Thomas is a manly man.
Yeah, so maybe they don't want that because we, despite all of our listeners, we only have 40, as of 2 hours ago, we have 49.
Yep.
49 signatures to turn
not even halfway
Thomas
there.
bisexual. Not even halfway. So I don't think we're going to get there.
No, I don't think so.
I'm going to have to open up a bunch of fake accounts and get it done.
They want Thomas to be the butch of the, like the manlier person on the relationship. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they like it, like when it comes to you and Andrew, you are the bear.
Am I the cub?
Yeah, you're the cub.
I'm the cub.
Jesus Christ. It's turned horribly wrong.
Yeah, I'm surprised that with our numbers, it's only at 49. So maybe you're onto something, Mike.
I think I do not have my finger on the pulse of my own audience, obviously. They have no want to see Thomas turn bi.
No.
I thought for sure there was
going to be more of a demand.
Yeah. I'm really disappointed with our listeners that they don't want to sign that petition.
Well,
how does it not happen?
I'm surprised, honestly.
I think, this is just a theory, Mike, but I think our listeners are assuming that Thomas will not cross that line.
No, he's going to cross the line.
If the petition passes, I will have to do it.
You see, Andrew's pants is the line. and Thomas will cross it.
Cross his pants.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
All right, this escalated.
The neutral zone.
I mean, I just spank you for 5 minutes. So.
Yeah, I think the listeners are like are assuming that this is like some sort of ploy. You know, like they don't. That
it won't really happen.
Yeah, that they're assuming that Thomas will not cross that line.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen eventually. I said I'd like for it to happen by the end of the year, but if I have to wait a year to get those signatures,
I think I agree with you guys. We got to up the ante.
Yeah.
Bobby told me he was going to offer in prizes to people for signing up.
See, guess what? I don't want that.
No.
I don't want people being like, hey, we're going to give you a free gift. I want people to want you to be bisexual. I want people to be as excited about it as I am. Don't give me gay eye either. Speaking of that, you know, his whole time, I'm going to talk to Tony right now because he's the only one I feel safe around right now.
Oh, okay.
Tony.
Yes.
Now, don't derail this.
Okay.
Okay. I was having a conversation with somebody on the network recently, and I came to the conclusion that, well, first, let me backtrack just a moment. So this entire time, I'm trying to bring about diversity on our network, right? I want more minorities. I want more non-straight males because it brings more content to the show, not because of diversity.
No.
Just more content.
I applaud you.
But I find out that there's really only 2 straight males really on this network. Maybe 3. Because I had a conversation with somebody and he told me that he is attracted to men on this network.
Really?
I'm not going to say who. I'm going to wait for them to come onto the air. But there's another individual. So the way things are playing out, we're going to have more gay and bisexual individuals on this network than there are straight. So I think next year, my goal is to bring more straight men onto the show.
Oh, okay.
I mean, how about that, Thomas?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think the Secrets episode is going to be a lot of fun.
Do you have any idea who this other potentially not bisexual? Yeah, bisexual. Do you have any idea who it could be?
I have a couple guesses. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think anybody will ever guess these ones. You might, maybe, because you know people more.
Right.
But I don't think listeners would ever guess these.
Okay.
So I'm going to wait for them to come on the air and come out of the... Can you come out of the closet bisexual? Can that be a thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, technically the term's just telling people.
Yeah, now, somebody by the end of the year, I don't care what I have to do.
now
somebody's going to come out of the closet on my show.
now, Mike, I think it's a great idea, but that's a pretty personal decision, especially to do it on the radio or on the air.
I think, and speaking for Mike's defense and on the network, you are on this network. You've sacrificed some personal freedoms. You kind of know what we're all about.
Listen,
here.
if I'm not asking people to do it, but I'm not forcing people to do it, but I'm not asking kindly either.
Right.
You
Kevin
do it.
Spacey.
Yeah. Yeah. Get you drunk.
It's time to throw down the gloves and go barefisted.
Yeah. Tony. Every time, Tony.
Every time.
Well, that was the segue.
He kept it going straight for a while there.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah.
He said, you know what the segue means, right, Tony? It means you're going to segue into another topic, but you kept us in the same topic.
I'm learning. Okay. My forte is science. Science is my
skill set.
Yeah, that's my prime skill set, technical and science.
Yeah.
It's
Christian Science?
Yeah, higher than that.
Just Tony Science.
Yes. Pure truth science.
All right. Let's get into news.
I ate a bunch of cum.
Yeah, you did.
Just cum in my butt.
Oh, jeez.
And now it's time for news with Andrew.
Trump tells Japanese dignitaries he never knew there were so many countries until he was elected.
Jesus Christ.
While giving a speech to Japanese dignitaries.
That's not real.
I can't. I hope to God that's not.
I hope
fake.
it's real.
That's fake news.
That's a joke, right?
Can't
No,
possibly.
keep going.
Do you think he just says things
I
just
think
to...
he has to.
Yeah, he's got to.
He used to be on SNL.
Yeah.
Whether people want to admit it or not, people used to think he was funny and liked him. And he used to be on SNL and had a good sense of humor. So part of me hopes to God that some of this has to be just jokes that nobody else understands or that he thinks are funny when they're really not.
Yeah.
The situation for it.
Could be.
While giving a speech to Japanese dignitaries on the first leg of his Asian tour, President Donald Trump admitted that he was unaware of how many countries there are in the world until he became president. Addressing how he first became acquainted with Japanese Prime Minister Abe, who Trump referred to by his name Shinzo, Trump made the offhanded comment, appearing to go off script from his prepared
It's Shinzao.
remarks. Shinzao?
I know that because of Star Trek Discovery. That's the name of the ship. I don't actually know things. If it was in TV, have you guys learned that? If it's on TV or a movie from the 90s, chances are I'm an expert in that topic.
Then you got it.
Yeah.
So my relationship with Shinzo got off to quite a rocky start because I never ran for office, and here I am, Trump remarked. But
see, if I became the president of the United States,
You'd buy a globe.
my entire my entire presidency would be me quoting movies. And see, that's all. Every president that ever made an appearance on TV, like any actor that portrayed the president, I would make sure all of my
Lines were in their speeches?
they pulled lines.
So you'd have your own "We Will Not Go Quietly"
Yeah.
into that night.
I would always end every speech that way.
Independence
It doesn't matter
Day.
what it's about. I would use my Bill Pullman.
Yeah.
And I would end every speech that way.
Impersonate.
It doesn't matter what it is, what it's about.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Trump continued, but I never ran, so I wasn't...
Mr. Trump, how do you feel about immigration? We will not go down in the night. This is our Independence Day.
So that doesn't answer the question.
Any other questions for anybody out there? Go ahead. You over there, the twink in the back. What question?
Where do you stand on LGBT rights?
We will not go down quietly tonight. This is our Independence Day. Anybody else have a question back there? Have the round Filipino fellow in the back. Go ahead.
Where is your stance currently on the wall that you promised to build?
That's quite simple. We will not go down in the night. This is definitely our Independence Day. You, bisexual male in the right. Any questions before we have to close out this press conference?
Yes,
I gotta take a shit
Mr.
soon.
President.
Plus, I got a tweet.
What is your stance on the criminalization of marijuana in this country? And are you high now?
That's two questions. I said one. I'm going to answer both of them right now. We will not go down quietly in the night, as this is our Independence Day. And I will not go down quietly in the night. This is our Independence Day. Any other questions? Anybody?
I don't think we have any.
All right.
So do we all just write the same article with the same sentence?
I guess, I don't know.
think so, yeah. Why don't we just make up his lines then?
we could actually follow what local news does.
Yeah.
Trump continued, but I never ran, so I wasn't very experienced. After I had won, everybody was calling me from all over the world. I never knew we had so many countries.
Jesus Christ.
I see like that. I have to hope that's a joke.
He is.
And someone just took this and said, let's make some shit.
I have to believe that there's a mastery of manipulation. Like he's manipulating the minds of people, making them think he's stupid. And all he's doing is creating headlines and distracting individuals. What if that's what he was doing? Hey, I'm going to do something stupid.
It could be. I can't believe somebody who's done all the stuff that he's done in his life is that stupid consistently.
It's impossible. It's impossible for somebody to be where he's at today.
Yeah.
His business, and people can say, his business has failed. Yeah, he had a few losses, but the guy still is a multi-millionaire who never hurt a day in his life. So he did something. He's not a dummy. And that's why I wonder, is he putting this on? Is he doing these types of things on purpose?
Part of me thinks so.
Because he sounds like an idiot every time he opens his mouth. The guy cannot articulate at all. He has a bunch of crutch words that he uses all the time.
Yeah.
Everybody has their crutch words and their go-tos.
Yeah.
But he holds on to them. And you would think that because he has like an entire gamut of writers that can write anything for him at any time, you would think that he would easily find new vocabulary, new choice words.
Right. At least by now.
Go ahead, Andrew.
That's the end of the article.
Yeah, just good. Yeah, let's go to the next one.
A Florida woman on horseback charged with DUI. A Florida woman may have to pony up after police busted her for riding a horse down a busy highway while intoxicated. Polk County police arrested 53-year-old Donna Byrne, and charged her with drunk driving.
You got Byrne and what was the other one?
There was a Y in it and it threw him.
Oh, okay.
Was charged with drunk driving after multiple drivers called 911.
Yep.
Drunk driving.
That's okay. Let him keep going.
Is that like holding onto your junk as you drive?
Yes.
Excuse me, young man. Do you know why I pulled you over?
Because I was holding my dick.
Exactly. That's definitely against city code.
After multiple drivers called 911 to report a woman on a
holding
horse.
my junk as I'm riding the horse.
You'd have to. You'll hurt something otherwise.
On a horse was hoofing it down the highway. Polk County Sheriff officials said in a news release that someone called 911 about a woman who appeared confused and possibly in danger. When deputies arrived, they found Barn. Excuse me, I'm retarded. It's fine. I'm retarded. I get it. No, it's fine.
Did you say barn now?
Just let it go. Just keep going.
Wow. Are you suffering a stroke? Are you okay?
Shame.
Yes. Riding her horse in the road.
Shame.
Officers did a sobriety test and
Shame.
and said she gave breath samples that registered blood alcohol level of .1. I'm all fucked up on this. I'm so sorry.
Wow.
I'm all
Period.
Woosah.
of .161.
Dot matrix 161.
Dot hat reboot. Of .161, much higher than Florida's
I need to
legal limits.
reboot this entire show. I need to bring on a new cast.
This is cool.
Of Florida's legal limit of .08. Miss Byrne was obviously not in any condition to be on the road, Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd said in a news release. She not only put herself and the horse in danger,
Ellipses minus 2.1%.
but also
161%.
not only put herself and the horse in danger,
Semicolon.
Erase the top part.
0.1. You're an idiot.
yes. But anyone else who was driving on the road, which is typically very busy. Byrne was charged with DUI and animal neglect. Oh, God dang. Animal neglect.
Jesus.
For endangering and failing to provide proper protection for the horse.
Condoms? Excuse me.
Probably,
The horse was drunk too.
Hold on a second. Do you have protection for that horse cock over there? Hello?
I'm sorry, they were out of magnums. Deputies took the horse to Polk County Sheriff's Animal Control Livestock Facility,
Where it sobered up.
Punctuation mark %.
She was booked into the Polk County Jail. It is unclear whether she retained an attorney. According to police, Byrne has a prior criminal history that includes 5 felony and 10 misdemeanor charges, consisting of cruelty to animals, drug possession,
Someone
probation
needs to
violation.
charge you for cruelty to Michael Flores. The things you do to me on this show. Can't even read a news article. Don't even know what point is. Dot.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Dot matrix.
Yep.
How do you not know that?
Well, should I try again on this new article?
I have a fever. It's 99.7%. I see your brain working over there, Thomas. Trying to think of more, aren't you?
I'm trying. I was trying to think of a name for a percentage, like bisected snowman or something like that.
All right. What else? Let's get out of this vortex, please.
Saudi Arabia criticized for
Sure.
giving female robot citizenship while it restricts women's rights. A robot woman in Saudi Arabia was granted citizenship this week,
That's just
sparking a
stupid.
backlash that said the robot appeared to have more rights than millions of human women and foreigners living in the Gulf nation. Sophia, a robot with human female features that can make facial expressions and hold conversations, wooed the crowd when it debuted at an economic summit.
Thomas, we must move our country forward. We must move our country forward and be more progressive.
And how do we do that?
Well, instead, this is terrible.
I wasn't going to do the voice of it.
That was a horrible Chinese accent.
Hold on. Instead of, let me get it. I'll get it eventually. Hold on. They roll their R's, don't they?
I don't know.
Or. We must be progressive. Should we allow women to drive? Or robots first?
If we make a robot a citizen,
I like you
I'm
do
not
that.
even going to try. I just moved
Is this
here.
your version of subtitles?
I just moved here, yes. It's dubbed. Where you can give the robots rights, then we can marry the robot and also turn it off when we're done having sex with it. Because you know that was the actual thought process behind giving a robot rights before you gave fucking women rights. Because some dickhead was like, at least this one I can turn off.
Yeah, they keep saying that we're a masculine country where it's like masculinity is very dominant.
It's so much better here.
And we are so violent, despite the news, because that's what the news does. They highlight issues.
Yeah.
It's weird that we don't point the finger at those countries and say, "Wow,
Yeah.
wow, you just gave a robot rights
That's like,
before
I adopted my
before
Roomba.
women." Yeah,
This is my pet Roomba.
yeah,
It's a dog.
That's essentially what you just
I
did.
put some ears on it and called it a day.
Those countries are the countries that have
Issues.
massive issues.
Yeah.
For every rape case or sexual assault case done by a man, I guarantee you, you can balance it out with a story of a woman doing the exact same thing to somebody else.
I mean, you hear a lot about women chopping off dudes' dicks in this country.
It's all about power for the most part. It's all about domination. And whenever you have somebody in power, it has nothing to do with the fact that they're male or female. Power corrupts. And you want to dominate. Teachers are doing it to their kids. If Hollywood was more feminine, and that's how it started for the past 30, 40 years, guess what would be going on?
Same thing.
The exact same thing. Because it has nothing to do with gender. It has to do with people
and power
who are drawn to positions of power.
Yep.
Period. Or dot matrix. All right. What else do we have in the news?
Moving on. To fight revenge porn, Facebook is asking to see your nudes.
I like that.
That makes sense. I'm going to help your burglary issue. Just give me all your stuff, and I'll keep it safe at my house.
All right, guys. Hey, I'm Mark Zuckerberg. Now we need to help with revenge porn. We can't have people posting it on our social media platform. We just can't have that type of publicity. Would you agree, Thomas?
I agree. I think it's a good idea.
Okay, so let's come up with a solid plan. How can we prevent revenge porn from finding its way onto our social media platform? Yeah, your hands raised. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. What if, okay, and hear me out on this. It's going to sound a little radical.
Okay.
If we already have their naked pictures, then no one else will be able to use those naked pictures.
Okay.
We'll put a filter on.
Right.
Right.
So we keep them for ourselves.
Right. In a database that's totally trustworthy because nothing gets hacked anymore.
Now, would it be okay with your plan? Because I like where your head's at. Can we call this database?
Spank Bank. I already wrote it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thought it was good.
Yeah. I think that would be good. I think that's a solid plan.
Yeah.
I think
and see, then
we're definitely doing our part to combat revenge porn.
And I'm telling you right now, I will study these images for hours and hours.
Okay.
So I will look personally. And that way, with myself, Tony, and Andrew's help, we'll be the team, and we can make sure that no one else gets these images out there.
Now, also, because you're going to be analyzing these photos and images with a fine-tooth comb.
Right.
can you please, in a separate data box,
Database, but sure.
data box.
Oh, it's a box. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
We're moving up to a box. Let me type that down.
Let's, can you please forward me all the redheads with big tits?
Absolutely.
Okay,
I've already got a
perfect.
filter based on
Perfect.
cup size, dick size,
Okay.
and hair color.
All right. No. You can leave the dick sizes alone. I don't need those.
Those are for Andrew.
Just redheads. And who's Andrew? Is he the new intern?
He's working with us. He's a new intern. Yeah. He was on the casting couch. You weren't part of that meeting. Don't worry about it.
Do you have any plans that you would like to add to this, intern Andrew?
No, but I'll take whatever I could get.
Oh my God.
I would suggest that we put this an official stamp of approval. You know, like we actually endorse it and put our certificate of authenticity with our signatures.
Yeah, no, that's good. Sir, don't listen to him. He's got some radical ideas. I'm working with him, but yeah, just trust me. This is under control. I'll send you all the redheads with big tits.
Okay, perfect. All right, what else do we have in the news?
Do we want to go into this article at all, or
it's fucking ridiculous?
I'll move on. All right.
No, I did not say move on.
You said what else do we have in the news?
Well,
just read.
Facebook has a new strategy for combating revenge porn. It wants to see your nudes first before an
Did
abuser.
Facebook come up with a way to combat Andrew?
It wants to talk to
He
Andrew
was on
first.
such a good path. He was doing well. He has a new
It was the
table.
cheese. He didn't have cheese before the show.
He has a new tabletop show that he's doing. I was here listening as they were recording. They did great. They did 2 shows back to back.
Awesome.
No problems. And I'm like, Andrew's finally on the right track.
He flew too close to the sun for just a little bit, and then he didn't have his cheese.
I don't know what happened. I had a stroke as soon as the news
His
started.
wings and his balls got scorched.
As part of the new feature the social network is testing in Australia, users are being asked to upload explicit photos of themselves before they send them to anyone else, according to the Australian Broadcasting Corporation.
Just send them to me. All right, that's all we have to say.
No, trust me.
All right, you know what? We're going to wrap today's show, but we are going to do the No Talent Autistic Post show with Andrew, the one who vortexed the entire show today. We'll be right back.
Oh yeah! I want to tell you about Dead City Radio, man.
Thank you for listening to The Rain Man Show with your host, Michael Flores, with hosts Tony Sabal and Thomas Cowley, Andrew Spindler with the news, audio guru Dustin Lucas, produced by Michael Flores and Dustin Lucas. The Rain Man Show is a Cazador Productions and Rain Man Digital broadcast production. For all things Rain Man, go to rainmanshow.com.
Hello and welcome to the Rain Man No Talent Autistic Post Show with myself, Andrew. Thomas is here with us.
Hello.
And Tony.
Hello.
So, first things first. I fucked up.
Really?
I like how
That's normal.
I fucked up real bad. I don't know what happened. So I was reading the news, and for the long-time listeners that we have, I have like 1 stroke per news segment, right? But I can usually recover.
Usually it's limited to 1
You had
per
mini
segment.
strokes.
You had a cluster of strokes.
You were actually suffering Alzheimer's before our very eyes. It was incredible.
Early on. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. We were reading an article about a woman who got a DUI riding horseback, and her blood alcohol level was 0.161.
Right.
But for some reason, I just did .1.
.1. And the worst part was you stumbled with ., which made it all the more obvious.
Yeah.
I did. Oh, it was so bad. I don't know what happened.
Neither did the horse, but
And then, of course, that put Mike on tilt,
right.
which is expected.
Right.
And then there was just no recovering. There's no recovering.
Well, you tilted him earlier with the 600%, which was like the first segment we were talking about. and you sent the man into a spiral.
I was kind of hoping that he would have that drop ready. Like it would already be made and he would just be able to
And
like.
that was his whole point, was that you're supposed to wait to see if he has it ready.
Yep.
Tilt. Jokes aside, you pre-me'd
I
on
did.
that one.
Yeah.
You stroked out too soon. You got to give it a second for everyone to have a good time.
I got to put a rubber on next time.
One of these days, we're going to be calling 911.
Mike's just going to try and choke you out in the middle of the show.
Because either Mike's killing you or you're actually suffering a massive mini stroke that we need to stop immediately.
I mean, it runs in my family, apparently.
Well.
That whole shit with my dad.
Yeah, well.
his strokes. Yeah, but I don't know. No recovering. I think it's because I quit my job at the call center.
Okay.
Which my second job is closed captioning for phone calls, right? And we have to say certain words in certain ways. For like symbols, we have to say question mark instead of, just, shift question mark.
Is
or whatever.
dot what you have to say for
We
period?
have to say dot for period.
So your real world work
Yeah.
bled into this
Repressed memories.
from a terrible job.
Right when I get off of like an 8 or 10 hour shift, it's like I call up Allie and it's like, hey, I'm out. What are you doing? Question mark. And she's like,
You don't have to say
no,
that
I know.
part, right?
This is
yeah.
correct, but you also don't have to say fucking dot.
And yet autistic brain kicks in. Well, at least we have an explanation now.
Yeah. But we got four news articles in before the vortex ruined the show, which kind of sucks because we, as Mike had said, I had came in on Saturday with my new co-host, Sam.
For the new board game.
For our new board game show.
I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, thank you, dude. I'm super excited. We did 2 shows. We did an intro show, basically introducing us, who we are, what our target demo is for the show. And then we did a holiday buying guide. So if you're new to board games, exactly right. If you're new to board games and you just don't know what it is we're talking about when we reference things like Dominion or, Pandemic or even like Roads and Boats or, Twilight Imperium.
Now you have a way to find out.
Now there's a way to find out. We're calling it Game State as well, which if you're a heavy board gamer already, you know that you have to check the game state or check the board state, game state every now and then. Figure out how things are going with that. But yeah, we recorded 2 shows back to back, 45 minutes for both of those. It's going to be fantastic. I do want to touch on the Kevin Spacey thing just for a moment.
Kevin Spacey wanted to touch on something.
He
as well.
did. So, did you read Kevin Spacey's statement on Twitter?
I read part of it. I didn't read the whole thing, frankly, because as Mike said, Hollywood is very much entrenched in all of this shit. So it didn't 100% surprise me, although I was disappointed. And I was kind of the mind of, well, I'll wait to see if there's some evidence beforehand.
Maybe that's the real
Maybe that's the real tragedy. The serious tragedy. You're not surprised about it. I'm not surprised about it. I don't think anybody who, even a casual fan of Hollywood movies or anybody in the industry, would probably say, "Oh, I'm shocked. I'm surprised."
Yeah,
hardly anybody is surprised.
And it's like Mike said, it's a power thing. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
So, with it being a power struggle, Dr. Phil believes that there's no such thing as sex addiction. He believes that there's
I don't buy that.
It's power addiction.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably the first thing that Dr. Phil said something that actually meant something.
Yeah.
But what about his statement? Did you want to talk about?
Yeah. So Kevin Spacey, first off, he posted on an image of a block of text on Twitter. The first paragraph is him saying, with respect to Anthony Rapp as an actor, horrified to hear the story. I do not remember the encounter. It would have been over 30 years ago. But if I did behave then as he describes, I owe him and blah, 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 which would have been deeply inappropriate, drunken behavior. And I am sorry. So he is like skirting around this fact where he's like, I'm not saying I did it, but I was drunk. So not admission. Cool. Next paragraph is when he comes out as gay.
Right.
Story encouraged me to address other things about my life, etc., etc. I choose now to live as a gay man. He's completely deflecting the entire fucking thing with Anthony Rapp, and he's putting the focus on himself for being an outstanding person to come out as a gay man in Hollywood.
Right, and I know that social media kind of ripped into him for that because that's like, dude, that's not how it works. You don't just get to use that as a shield for these claims.
He is.
That's what he's doing with that. Yes, but the internet didn't buy it, frankly. And I think this one's a muddied issue. Like Cosby's thing was horrifying to hear the truth about that. And the sheer number of incidents and the allegations becoming true statements in previous courtrooms, that is horrifying to hear. Kevin Spacey's thing, while it is disturbing to hear, as there have been a few more allegations that have come to light, it's also unsettling that he was immediately condemned before there was anything beyond simply an allegation. Only because not that anything he did or how he deflected was right, not like he saying that he should be trying to push away this message, but the idea that we just condemn immediately as a society. And it's happened for years, and it'll happen forever. It happened with Michael Jackson's. It's happened with all kinds of people. But it's scary to see how quickly that happens. And there's no recovering from that.
No, not at all.
Even if this turns out that it wasn't what happened,
his career is ruined
let's
forever.
Claim that it turns out it wasn't true. It doesn't matter at this point. That's what scares me. Not the fact that I'm not trying to take away from the situation in any way, just saying we need to be wary about that as a society.
And I'm going to pop in here, and I didn't want to do this on this show, but because I was trying to avoid this serious topic, Andrew, and you brought it up during your wrap up. But there's a lot of blame to be put on everybody that's been around Kevin Spacey for the past 30 years who knew of this behavior. Because you know what? Despite Kevin Spacey's behavior, which is wrong, there's no way you can twist it around.
No.
Okay, it's inappropriate, it's unprofessional, but all these people, production people, grips,
line producers, like you
gaffers, camera people, but you have all these other people
who weren't victims,
who weren't victims, and they work on the set of House of Cards, and they said nothing about this alleged rampant behavior of sexual harassment that allegedly happened until after this happened. And people are like, well, they're afraid to lose their job, so they remain silent. And it's the producer's responsibility to make sure that there's an open door policy where these people know that they're not going to lose their jobs.
Right.
And that goes without saying. That's actually a rule that's done by a lot of corporations, where there is no such thing as retaliation. You cannot retaliate against this person or you will be fired immediately.
Right.
Unfortunately, because you have star power, these people control the set. However, there's somebody that I'm going to put up there on the platform that should be hanged with Kevin Spacey, and that's his co-star, the soapbox diva, Robin Wright. I love her as an actress.
Where was she?
But she's not afraid of losing her job. She strong-armed her way for the past 3 years, because I read all the trades. She strong-armed her way for the past 3 years to get a better story for herself and to become a producer on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And to get equal pay with Kevin Spacey. So while she's taking care of herself, how come she wasn't taking care of the set and the toxic behavior that was allegedly happening? So when they say, hey, we're going to give House of Cards a reboot and we're going to start the show without him, or we're going to do a spinoff based on Robin Wright's character. Fuck you, Robin Wright.
Yeah, I'm not watching it.
I would fucking protest that fucking show because you're not afraid of losing your job. You strong-armed your way for the past 3 fucking years to get a better paycheck for yourself and to become a producer. Meanwhile, you're allowing Kevin Spacey to sexually harass every fucking dick that passes by.
Yep.
And no one's going to say that because it's wrong. It doesn't fit the narrative. It doesn't fit the narrative that everybody wants. But what about this chick here that allowed it to happen? She wasn't afraid to lose her job. The grip keeping silent, maybe I can say, all right, I understand the grip didn't want to lose his job. I get it. The casting department, all right, I get it. But fucking Robin Wright, give me a fucking break. She's just as guilty as Kevin Spacey because she allowed that shit to happen. You realize she hasn't said a word yet?
Yeah.
There's a reason why. She doesn't want to be caught in a lie. You don't think she knew what was happening? And she said nothing.
Everybody in Hollywood knows about the deep ties for pedophilia and sexual abuse. It goes back to...
But I'm not even talking about that because you're right. I agree with that. But I'm talking about this set and specifically.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I'm so passionate about it is because Robin Wright gets on her soapbox at every single award show now about pro-woman rights and pro this and pro that. Why aren't you getting on your soapbox and condemning Kevin Spacey before this happened? You were working so close to him in a very intimate role. And for those people who may not know, when you work with someone on set, you become a family. Okay, you become very, very close. Yes, some people disagree, they fight, they argue, they stay away from each other. But for the most part, you develop a very intimate relationship. Platonic. I'm not saying it's sexual. Platonic relationship. You're telling me Robin Wright has worked with this guy for 5 years, going on 6 years, and she didn't ever witnessed any of these things happen, it's complete, utter bullshit, especially when you put it into perspective and show you what she has been fighting for the past 3 years. For her to have a better paycheck, for her to be an executive producer, and for her to have a better role in the show.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
And it sucks because now I lose 2 actors I like. I love Kevin Spacey and I loved Robin Wright. But that is complete
like the show.
horseshit.
And it's all gone now.
It's all double standards.
Yeah.
All double standards. Speaking of sex scandals, Thomas, I'm sorry. I spanked the shit out of you for the entertainment of a few people.
And you loved it. And you loved it.
I was genuinely, I was deeply uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah, right. Bullshit.
That's the narrative.
So
Bullshit.
That's what he's putting in his tweet.
Yeah.
the first thwap was way too loud, and I'm like, oh no. It was very
the neighbors
uncomfortable.
are going to hear.
Right? Yeah. I don't want people to think I enjoyed it too much.
Right. Well, they all
but-
know.
Yeah, but you got a cupcake for your birthday.
Yeah. I did.
And you fed him a cupcake.
I did.
Yep.
Again, I'm sorry.
And you fed him a cupcake.
I did. Yeah, I tried to
Did you
shove
just
it.
stroke out? You said that already.
I know, I just stroked out myself.
It's spreading.
Yeah.
I felt like I just went back in time for a second there.
I know,
'Cause
I
you
just
said
stroked
the exact-
out.
In the exact
It was a
same
glitch in the
fucking-
Matrix.
Oh my
the
God.
exact same fucking cadence.
I am so fucking tired. Oh my God. I am getting too old for this shit.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So I would say that we have to give the spanking to the fans as kind of like a tease as to what might happen if the Make TC Buy petition.
I'm surprised it's stalled out at 49.
I can't believe it hasn't even broke 50.
But as Mike said, if he has to wait a year, he's going to get it one way or another. That sounds Kevin Spacey.
It does. We'll wait 30 years and that'll be fine. So yeah, go to the change.org petition, sign up, let's make TC buy, so he can enjoy a nice night out on a picnic and
Well,
wine.
I don't know what I'm going to enjoy now because apparently the line was your pants. So who knows what the fuck's going to happen now?
Yeah, change.org, go sign that petition. We did touch on Trump just a little bit before as I had
As you
my
started
stroke.
to stroke out, yes.
As I started to stroke out. And Michael had made some good points as to where Trump doesn't seem to say anything intelligent in the sense that he has his crutch words that he keeps going back to. He doesn't evolve in the way that he portrays his speech. Stuff like everything is always huge or is like big things or like,
Right.
you know, of all time.
He
stuff
stays
like that.
in this almost caricature of what we come to expect at this point. And it seems like it doesn't make sense for the person he's been all the way up until recent years for him to have just lost all intelligence. Like you can't be as stupid as he pretends to be and have made it in any kind of business. So it seems like there's something up with that, whether it's for his own manipulation purposes or there's some greater nefarious shit at play with distracting people. Who knows?
I like nefarious shit behind the scenes.
Yeah, everyone saw that when you had a paddle and a cupcake.
Okay, so there was a news article that ran on the radio earlier today that said Trump just isn't evolving as a person as president-elects do when they take the office. Generally, a president-elect will become more humble. They'll become like way more reasonable about the whole situation, and like, you know, their hair goes gray because the
Right.
tremendous amount of stress there. Trump doesn't do that. He still runs like the Miss America pageant,
Right.
except on a global scale, right? Tying into Michael's comment about him just being dumb with the way he says things. And my love for nefarious shit. Bear with me, ready?
Oh, God.
We're in the
We're
conspiracy
going
moment.
to a conspiracy
We're
vortex.
going into the conspiracy vortex. Just like the conspiracy thing or the ties for sexual predators in Hollywood.
Uh-huh.
And they're the higher beings that control that. Let's refer to them as let's say the New World Order.
Right. I'm not sure if Tony's laughing or if he's snoring because he's starting to fall asleep. The New World Order.
Trump is a puppet for the New World Order.
Odor?
odor.
to get us all mad and riled up.
He's doing, I don't know, it's like he doesn't even know that he's being
Dumb.
Right. Like, there's no possible way that you can go up to a press conference and say, we're going to totally fucking annihilate you, to like your number one like Cold War rival.
Right.
Right. Without some sort of just disconnect or just want to not care, or even just the higher, corporations, lobbyists and stuff like that. There's so much that's happening with that man, and he is going to be the hot topic of conspiracy theories.
If there's still a world 50, 100 years from now, it'll be interesting to see what the history books say.
Well, thank you guys for joining us at the No Talent Rain Man Autistic Post Show. We'll see you next time.
Where I come from isn't all that great. My automobile.
Buzz your butt.